an athlete who keeps a lid on his emotions. Lando can be very different to that. He likes to wear his heart on his sleeve. He likes to talk about his emotions, and sometimes from the outside, you feel that those emotions can interfere with the process of being an elite athlete at that part. I'm not saying that they make him worse or they make him better, but if they were one of those two drivers that were going to thrive on confidence and momentum, you'd go with Lando as the answer to that. And when such fine margins are probably going to decide a championship, a bit of luck going your way can make a massive difference. You win championships with consistency, with excellence, but also a little bit of luck. And you need a little bit of luck. And I think at Silverstone, he got that. Austria, he dominated. Here at Silverstone, he just got that little piece of luck. He was denied pole. His teammate was ahead of him. The penalty kind of sorted out the race. Now, with an athlete like Lando, when things are going well for him, he has a spring in his step, and he drives that much better because he has that confidence. Could this be the game-changing moment? As we go to Spa, arguably another home race for Lando on this one as well, but also a track that he absolutely adores, and we have seen him be very fast at in the past. If in the next two races he could get to the summer break and be ahead, wow, that to me makes a massive difference to Lando Norris, especially, and we used to talk about this with Lewis Hamilton once upon a time, about how strong he was towards the end of a season. Lando was really strong in the last 6 races last year. So knowing that he's had that bit of luck, the momentum's with him, he's got a chance to be leading after the Hungarian Grand Prix, and with some very favourable races to come at the end, this could do no end of good to Lando's championship challenge.
Damon, where's your money on at the halfway stage? If you were to pick a winner now.
I totally agree with what David's been saying. There is such a thing as momentum. Don't forget, coming into the season, Lando had the expectation on his shoulders. And Oscar, in a way, was in the luxurious position of not having all that pressure. And Lando has come in for a bit of stick because he's revealed a bit too much about himself, and it's really handed a psychological advantage, it appeared, admitting his faults and all the rest of it. So he's recovered from that, I think, and he seems more solid now. And I think the confidence is building. And I totally agree with what David is saying. You get close. I mean, what we're now seeing is, it's very like golf, isn't it? In the Open or whatever. And the guy's been leading, whether it's Greg Norman, he's been leading for the whole way, but gradually the gap is getting smaller. And when the gap is getting smaller, that gets into your head. Oscar now knows he's lost an advantage, a big advantage, instead of it growing. After Canada, you have to say, Canada, that apparently what happened was that Lando was going for a gap, and then just at that moment, Oscar's car was derating, apparently, and it sort of slowed fractionally early to what Lando was thinking it would do. And so there may be a good reason why that accident happened. It didn't take out Oscar. That was the luck for Oscar, if you want to call it that. But, you're right. Luck plays a part, and big drops of 25 points can happen. But the momentum psychologically, I think, is now with Lando, because he's beaten Oscar also in Austria. We go from Silverstone to Spa. For Spa, Reed, Silverstone, it's a very similar track. It is, it's a big, expansive track, and the car is good there. But it can be wet as well. But I don't listen. Oscar's not out of it. He's got the advantage at the moment, and Lando's going to have to dig deep and work hard. There's nothing between them. So it will come down to luck.
Look at the last 6 races from last year. Only in one race in Qatar did Oscar beat Lando, and Lando
involved with the Cadillac F1 project. I will be able to contribute to their Formula One entry by supporting the team through simulator work and development programs leaning on past experiences, said Eastwood 30. I want to thank Cadillac for the trust they have placed in me, especially at such an important time. The Cadillac Formula One team, backed by General Motors, has 2 new additions to its roster: Pietro Fittipaldi, pictured above, and Simon Pagenaud, both hired as simulator drivers to support the team's 2026 debut. By Mark Cipollone, with Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas confirmed as the race drivers, and Colton Herta as test driver. Fittipaldi and Pagenaud will work behind the scenes to refine car setups and race strategies through Cadillac's advanced simulator facilities in Detroit and Silverstone. Pietro Fittipaldi, 29, brings a diverse racing background. The grandson of 2-time F1 champion Emerson Fittipaldi, he raced in IndyCar until a severe 2018 crash at Spa disrupted his career. In 2025, he competed in IMSA's LMP2 class with Pratt Miller Motorsports, earning podiums at Daytona and Sebring. Previously, he served as Haas's F1 reserve driver, participating in FP1 sessions and post-season tests. Simon Pagenaud, 41, is a former IndyCar champion, 2016 and 2019 Indianapolis 500 winner. His career includes 15 IndyCar victories and pole positions at tracks like Long Beach and Barber. After a concussion from a 2023 crash at Mid-Ohio ended his full-time racing, Pagenaud transitioned to mentoring roles, notably with Meyer Shank Racing and Scott McLaughlin for IndyCar campaigns. Optimizing the technical aspect of a car and managing relationships with people at the factory has been my passion since I started racing, explained Simon Pagenaud. I really enjoy talking with the engineers, developing the simulator, and making it as realistic as possible. This work makes me feel useful and like I'm contributing my expertise, something that's been lacking since my accident. My role and goal are to make the simulator as close to reality as possible and lay the foundations for the car. I want to help Cadillac project itself as accurately as possible toward reality. As simulator drivers, Fittipaldi and Pagenaud will analyze telemetry, test setups for circuits like Monaco and Suzuka, and provide data-driven insights to optimize the Cadillac F1-26 car. Their work will support Perez and Bottas in closing the gap to the front of the grid, leveraging the team's state-of-the-art simulation technology to prepare for Formula One's competitive landscape. Categories: Eastwood named Cadillac Formula One simulator driver. Northern Ireland's Charlie Eastwood has been named as one of 3 simulator drivers for Cadillac's new Formula One team. Eastwood competes in the World Endurance Championship, is a winner at the Le Mans 24-hour race, and previously worked with the Mercedes F1 team as a simulator driver. American manufacturer Cadillac will join the Formula One grid in 2026 and named multiple race winners Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez as their drivers. Former IndyCar champion Simon Pagenaud and ex-Haas F1 reserve driver Pietro Fittipaldi will make up the simulator team alongside Eastwood, while IndyCar race winner Colton Herta will be the team's test driver. Simulator drivers work at the factory of Formula One teams to develop the car and test new parts, and on race weekends they provide support to the race drivers by testing setups linked to the real-world Grand Prix. Eastwood said he was extremely honored to be involved with the Cadillac F1 project. I will be able to contribute to their Formula One entry by supporting the team through simulator work and development programs leaning on past experiences, said Eastwood 30. I want to thank Cadillac for the trust they have placed in me, especially at such an important time. Eastwood is a factory driver for Corvette, a sister brand of Cadillac under the General Motors banner, in the World Endurance Championship, and won the most recent round in Fuji in the LMGT3 class. He also finished third at the Le Mans 24 Hours in June, a race he won with Aston Martin in 20